Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Age of Engineering. I got a surprise for you guys today. I got a couple of these semi-fluid generators set up. Now I actually recorded a little bit of video setting these things up and the materials needed for them, and the audio didn't work, so that's exciting. Somehow my microphone got disconnected, and yeah. So I basically turned this entire area in here into canola farm, including the little greenhouse here. And basically, let's just show you kind of what these semi-fluid generators look like. This right here. So that's a basic machine casing. That's 8 iron plates, and then 2 more crushed down into 4 iron item casing, and then these universal fluid cells. So really cheap, just a bunch of metal, really. I made 2 of those. You're going to need a canola press. So that canola press turns canola, if you power it with RF, turns it into canola oil. So I just took my spare capacitor from the other room over there, stuck it up here, and ran some power down into the top of it. So that, yeah, that canola gets turned into canola oil. And then on either side here, I've got a fermenting barrel that automatically, without any kind of power, just turns the canola oil into regular oil. And just by proxy here, it flows from the canola press into the fermenting barrel without any pipes, and then again from the fermenting barrel into the semi-fluid generator without any pipes. So that works really well. I've got tons of canola here, and it's keeping up. I've been running, preparing for today's episode, and been running a bunch of stuff off of here, and that power kind of keeps up. So I'm excited about it. But anyway, in today's episode, we're going to be making, we're going to be going into the bottom of empowering age. I always want to say empowered age. And we want to look at this right here. So, it talks about we can make advanced tools and machines like the mining laser and the thermal centrifuge, which combined with the ore washing plant gives you greater output for your ores. So I don't know if this is ore tripling. I've never used these before, but anyway, I've got all the stuff here together for the semi-fluid generator. I'll cut between this and the next to get the ore washing plant all put together, but this is going to be quite the process. So let me just kind of show you what you're going to need for today. You're going to need prismarine shards. So right off the bat here, let me show you. I did this off camera. Oh, can I show? Let me go outside here. Right here, there we go. So let me show you kind of where I went. This isn't even what I want, but that's because I turned topography on. So day. Here we go. All right. So I went. Let's center ourselves here. So I went down here, followed this around. And then followed this up and over, and I did a circle here, right? And this is where the monument ended up being. So then I went all the way around over here, followed this over here, and just kind of made this huge, massive trip around. I mean, it took me hours, and my luck, I was not expecting to find one. Because I just went so far away. I went like 5,000 blocks away. And on the way back home, kind of to give up a little bit, I ran into the monument here, which was handy. So I went in, killed the guardians, collected a few things, made myself a new pickaxe. I went ahead and did the sponge shaft, the ardite binding, and the cobalt pickaxe head, and then I put a diamond and an emerald on it. So now it has 3,089 durability, which is fantastic. That's so good. Yeah, so you're gonna need 2 of those. So you're gonna need to go find that, and put that together. We're gonna be making an advanced. Here, let's pull this up. This is a thermal centrifuge, and I'm assuming this thing takes tier 2 power. So it's gonna be a power drain, power hog for us. We don't have tier 2 power at the moment, we just have tier 1. I don't think there is a really good tier 2. But what we could do is we could make an MFE I think is what they're called, which is the tier 2 power storage. Oh, it's power 3. What is the industrial craft? What is the tier 2 here? CESU. Okay, that's the tier 2 storage. Yeah. Anyway, we could make the one of those. But anyway, what part of that is, if I pull that back up, the thermal centrifuge. You're noticing that it takes a mining laser here, which is kind of cool. It's not like too amazing. You've seen these before. The energy crystal here is kind of like Industrial Craft's battery, but it takes 9 energium dust and put in a compressor to make one energy crystal. And those energium dusts take 4 diamonds and 5 redstones. So you're going to need to find some diamonds, which is what I've got down here. Also, in this mining laser, you're going to see this advanced circuit, which is going to take a regular electronic circuit, 2 glowstone, and then empowered stuff. So let's grab all of that, because we're going to head to the other room. First of all, we're going to toss this lapis in here. We're going to empower that, or we're going to turn it into palace crystal. And then what we're going to do is we're going to stick a palace crystal here, prismarine shard there. I don't think it really matters where these go, just that you get them all on here. Let's see, I did not get that where I wanted it to. Okay, fish and cobalt, and as soon as you put the last piece in, it's going to consume a lot of power, like maybe a lot of power, and poof, that's going to be our piece. So let's grab an empty hand, we'll pull that off, and then we'll do it again. Just kind of show you what this is like, and then so that's going to consume a lot of power, and then we're going to need to do the same thing with the Restonia to make empowered Restonia, and you're going to need 4 of the Restonia crystals. So those take a Restonia crystal in the middle, Ardite, this little redstone resonating crystal thing. You can get that from mining redstone, or you can actually craft them. The recipe is just 4 redstone and like an ender shard. And if you take an ender pearl with a glass cutter, which is just some iron and stick, you can get a bunch of those little pieces. So that's one good way of getting it. Or if you're lucky to find it in the world, then there you go. So I'm gonna make a bunch of these, just 4 of these. I'm not sure how the power is feeling. About halfway done. These things don't seem to be taking as much power as the other 2 did. But yeah, so this is empowering from Actual Editions, and this isn't really a great representation of of what it is. The mod authors of this particular pack decided to go crazy with it, and from what I hear, we're going to need a lot of these. We're going to be using this a lot, so we are going to need greater power transfer between each of these, and greater power generation. So that'll probably be something we look at here in the near future. Okay, so now that we've got those, let's grab all the rest of these, and let's just kind of go through this bit by bit. Okay, so the advanced machine casing, you know how to make that. You've seen that before, right? So I went ahead and made that. You've not seen an electric motor. Electric motor is 2 coils, 2 of these 10 atom casings, and a piece of iron ingot. And then let's go for the mining laser here. Let's make these energium dust, and we'll stick that in the compressor. And I made twice as many of these as I needed to, but I'm sure I'm going to use them in the future. But anyway, yeah, the mining laser is pretty cool. I'd like to upgrade from these tools to like the Actual Editions mining drill. That'd be pretty cool. Alright, so let's make this. I have everything we need for that. It's the advanced circuit. That's pretty awesome. And then 2 more redstone. I think I tossed those over here. I didn't know what I needed them for. Okay, so that's that. Mining laser's done. And then we can just shift click that. Now I think I set this here, it's not going to do much. Now I don't know if that's a good spot for it or not. But that is taking a lot of power. Look at that. Are these things keeping up? Probably not. No, look at that. Power just disappearing. This thing can hold a lot. Look at that. It's not even halfway full. 48,000 EU. Well, that's good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to cut here, and I'm going to put together all I need for the ore washing plant. That's this thing here, and let's hope that this isn't too crazy. Nope, just some electric motors, basic machine casing, some buckets, electric circuit, iron plates. So this thing over here was the beefy thing to make. So let's play with this a little bit and see if we can get. We may need to rearrange some stuff in here because I think maybe what happens is we take the ore washing plant. I'm not sure which goes first, the ore washing plant or the thermal centrifuge. I think maybe the thermal centrifuge, then the ore washing plant, and then the macerator, and then the furnace. I have no idea. Let's play around with this. I'll be right back. Okay, so between the last clip and this one, I rearranged it a little bit. I went into a single player world and took a look at how all of these things work so that I wouldn't really bumble around here too much. So what we're going to do is I have everything put together to make the ore washing machine plant, I think is what it's called. It's not too hard. It's got two of those electric motors you've seen me make. We'll just put those together here real quick. And then it's just a circuit, 2 buckets, a basic machine casing, and then the 3 of the iron plates. Not too hard. And so what that's going to do is that's going to go right here. And if we open up the GUI for this, this is going to require some sort of fluid, which is why I have more stuff in there. Before we do that though, let's grab some glass. I'm going to be putting down some water right here. And yeah, actually it's going to be in front of that in a 2x2, so it's going to be these 4 blocks right here. So what happens is you put your ores in here, they get macerated into 2 of the whatever they're called, and then they get washed. From that washing, a purified piece will come out, and a nugget, and another piece of dust or whatever, depending on what it is. And then that purified thing goes in here. The centrifuge will heat up, and then this is the progress bar right here. From that you'll get something that can be smelted from there. So we can have kind of like a system set up to kind of go all the way. And I don't have enough of these auto ejector upgrades to kind of show you what I'm talking about there, but you'll just have to take my word for it. So what we're going to need to do is make a pump, and I'm going to make the one from Industrial Craft here. But before I do that, I kind of wanted to show you, you kind of saw on the back of this, there's a bat box for every machine. And for the tier 2 thing, I made this CESU. It's a tier 2 power thing, so once that's filled up, it'll deliver power to the thermal centrifuge, at a rate that it can handle, which is nice. And these have been working away, these things here. And I've got an excess of canola at this point, so that's kind of nice. Okay, let's make this washing thing, or this pump. If you look in here, it looks like basic stuff that you've seen me craft before, with the exception of this mining pipe. This mining pipe is going to take a tree tap and then 6 of these iron plates. So you can kind of see all of this setup is actually taking quite a bit of effort to make, a lot of resources. So the pump's going to go right here. It's going to be facing, for me it's going to be facing this direction, right underneath the macerator. And so from here what we can do is we can, we're going to have water flowing out, unfortunately. I don't think there's a way to get water in there without that happening. So let's put water there, and we'll block it off. Oh, it picked it up. That's not what I wanted to have happen. Can I get that back? Yes, cool. Alright, let's pick you up. Let's grab the wrench. I kind of wanted another bucket, but I don't think I have enough iron to make that. Here we go, it's almost empty. Nope, I just have one. Okay, that's fine. So what I want to do is I kind of want to make a barrier for all this water that I'm going to be putting down, and we'll kind of tidy it up at the end here. So we'll pick this up. Okay, we'll place in the water there. Let's go grab another real quick here outside. We'll also shoot that spider that's making noise. Alright. Where'd he go? Ah. Okay, cool. So, I think... Oh, hello, Mr. Creeper. Alright. So, we're going to be having, I don't know if it's ore tripling exactly, but it's, man, how do I get in here? This is going to make a mess. I'm just going to lose all of these. That's going to go there and make an infinite water source. And then this, I think we'll just stick here. And we'll have to make another, man, those mobs, did they just spawn under there? I need to go down there and take a look at my light levels. Okay. Let's just reorient how that's sitting. And I need to make an electric wrench. Something that I'll have to keep making this. Okay, so if I angle that way, and then if I shift right click to face it back the other way, it should start picking up water. And this infinite water source will keep supplying it with water. So we don't actually need that one there. Perfect. Okay, so let's grab some ore and we'll take a look at this entire process. And maybe we can make a couple more ejector upgrades. Yeah, let's do that. So let's we'll grab this iron here. I do want to make a couple, so let's grab iron, tin. We'll just grab a stack of all this stuff. We'll just make it over there. There we go. Okay, so the entire thing, I think the most troublesome is going to be the thermal centrifuge, I think. The one that takes the most time. So once it's done making iron, it's going to pop over into here. Oops. Into here. And... Oh. I'm forgetting one thing. This right here is what I need. So tin, I need some tin, iron. Okay, so let's, give me a minute here. I forgot about the fluid ejector upgrade. Let me put all that together. Okay, I think I have everything ready. Let's grab this. We'll get our fluid ejector upgrade made. There we go. Now, when I stick this in the pump, this is going to start sending water up here to the ore washing plant. So, now let's grab these and make the ejector upgrades. We'll just make 2 more. There we go. That way there's one for each of these. Now, let's put one in here for now and we'll watch it run. I'll just kind of watch this whole thing work in procession here. Alright, so this is going to make us what we normally are used to, the crushed iron ore. as soon as we hit eject on that, those crushed iron ores are going to go into, yeah, here. And this is actually going to start spinning them. You'll see that this is turning blue very slowly from left to right. And once that is done, we're going to get, like I said, a purified from each of these plus some extra little. So it's hard to quantify what you're going to get from these, because you'll see you're going to get this purified crushed iron ore, and then you're going to get this tiny pile, which you use 9 of these to turn into a single one. So you have to go through, let's see, 10 or 5 pieces of this crushed iron ore to get another piece. So it's not quite ore doubling, that's for sure. Okay, so when we hit auto ejector upgrade here, that's going to go, the purified crushed iron ore is going to go over here. This is going to heat up and take a bit of time. So what you need to do, I suppose we need to set up something similar to this over here where we have a filter and we can filter out the specific items, or we would blacklist, so let me grab this. When you right click on here, you can whitelist these items, or you can blacklist these items, which means everything else is taken out except these things. So what we would do is we'd set up a system similar to this up here, but blacklist the things that we want to come into here. So like all the purified things would be blacklisted. So that way this would eject only, these items here into a chest, and we would, set it up here or something. I don't know. But this is heating up very, very slowly. What I'd like to do is I'd like to just set, this entire set of iron here and just have it run through. Because I'd like to start turning more of that into steel. And I kind of found out a little bit of a trick to use up here. So all of these have ejector upgrades in them, right? And we have the things pulling out that are produced here. If you leave one over here, the system will naturally try and put one to the left before it'll try and put one to the right. Well, if you only keep one over here, it starts to drain it out of these. See how this is 416 millibuckets left? This compressor can't put a full one on top of that because they don't stack. They don't have the same MBT data. So what'll happen is it'll kick it out over here. Well, once this is done, it'll always keep, it'll put in here and then it'll refill it and stick it back into the blast furnace where there'll only ever be one there. So it's kind of a good way to automate the whole thing. I think it's kind of great. I kind of stumbled upon that. Okay, so now that we have the thermal centrifuge actually working, we get 2 iron dust. Is it just 1 iron dust per? Let's find out, because that would be amazing. Yeah, it is. So we're not, we're barely, we get gold. We're getting gold and extra iron and actually stone from this. So yeah, so I could put another chest. Let's see if I can if I have one available. I just need to go. I think between this episode and the next, I'm gonna run downstairs and like block all that off so mobs can't get underneath there. They're just loud. Okay, so if I put a chest, kind of like what I had in this last one, it's going to eject the finished product up here, which I think is pretty awesome. And it's not going to be able to, in the past, when I had the macerator sitting right here, it would auto-eject it back into the macerator, and I didn't want that. So now this system should flow very nicely. But yeah. There was another thing I think I was wanting to talk to you about. Oh, in here. So, looking ahead a little bit about what we're going to be doing, I was looking at the farming age, right? And in order to get into the farming age, we need this sturdy casing, which requires 2 million RF. I think the system that I had in here before was fine, I would like to get medium voltage stuff set up in here. If you look at immersive engineering and you go down to the medium capacitors, it just takes 2 of the low voltage ones and some electrum. We haven't learned how to do electrum yet, but electrum is pretty easy. It's just gold and, let's see if I can get to this here. Nope. Anyway, it's just gold and silver. So it's kind of like how you make bronze, but it's just gold and silver, so it'd be pretty easy to make. So I'd like to put a medium voltage next to one of each of these. I think it stores maybe I don't know. We'll find out how much it stores. But it'll definitely fill up faster because we'll be running medium voltage lines and connectors to everything, so it'll fill up a little bit quicker. And also, if we can put a little bit more RF generation into it, that would be great. That way we're not, like having to wait for it between creations and stuff. But I think that is it for the day. I did learn how to say this wood right here. Where did it go? This is Paduk. Yeah, that's how you say that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll see you again next time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.